Hey, good evening, everyone. Tonight, got a lot to talk about, really. We'll talk about Melissa coming up, but we're also going to talk about the wind and the rain. Tomorrow is going to feel like January or February. And I will say, if this storm system came through in January or February, we would have a pretty good amount of snow. We would be dumped on. It's a cold core upper level low. You get about 3,000 feet above the ground, the temperature will be below freezing. So that's what's going to trigger everything. That's the reason it's going to be miserable to be outdoors tomorrow in the afternoon. The morning, we'll be in the 50s, but the afternoon, we're going to be mid-40s. The wind will be gusting about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Yuck. Soup weather. I'm actually making chili tomorrow. My first pot of chili. I had tortilla soup last week. Eric Burke, I saw him, he posted a soup. It's almost like a Brunswick stew if I remember right, but he made a soup. A lot of you making soup, and it's soup weather, that's for sure. Adam, thanks for checking in over in Fort Payne. Ian, doing good tonight. And Donna, thanks for checking in from Phil Campbell. Again, tomorrow is one of those everyone's that's been saying, when's it really going to be fall? Well, that's your day. The good news is it's only going to last one day. We have really nice weather coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the way, you may want to bring your plants in. I'd just go ahead and bring them in tomorrow. Here's the thing. There's a chance of frost. However, there's one thing that's missing, and that's dew point temperatures at freezing. The dew point has to be freezing for you to get frost. In most cases, because that's what freezes it. Because you get, or at least whatever like your windshield has to be basically freezing with the dew point out there. So we'll watch that. The other thing could be some clouds, but yeah. Oh, Ian, it's not cold yet. It's in the 50s. I was actually out in shorts earlier this evening, so it's not cold yet, but it will be tomorrow. All right, here's Melissa. It's as expected. It weakened over the high terrain of Jamaica. It's now cleared Jamaica. It's a really small hurricane. I really want to emphasize it. It reminds me a lot of Hurricane Charlie down in Florida. The thing about Charlie, though, it was small. It was a Cat 4, but it was moving very, very fast and caused damage all the way up to Orlando from the Port Charlotte area, Punta Gorda, north of Fort Myers. That was, 2004, 2005, something like that. I was down there for that afterward. Anything coming tonight? Well, Kaylee, we got rain coming tonight. We'll talk about that in a second. A lot of rain, a lot of wind. The heaviest rain, roughly 2 o'clock in the morning through 7 a.m. So the morning commute looks like a mess. The high temperature for tomorrow will happen after midnight tonight. But back down in the Bahamas, this is going to move into the southeastern Bahama Island chain. Again, I want to stress the Bahamas Islands stretch over 500 miles. This is not going to impact Nassau, which is one of the big, or Freeport. This is not going to, basically Nassau to the north. If you got a cruise there or you just got a vacation there, this will not impact that. This is an impact basically split between the extreme southeast Bahama Islands and the Turks and Caicos. They're going to see a lot of rain. They're seeing that now in Turks and Caicos. And then it continues to move northeast. Still is a Category 2 storm by Thursday, early Thursday morning, and then maybe a threat to Bermuda. But hopefully this will be the last one. You can see it there, the eye wall's back. So this will probably be Cat 4 by 10 o'clock again. I've got it as Cat 4, but it's actually Cat 3. I didn't change the label, but I'm not going to change it because it's probably Cat 4 again by now. Look at that eye wall. It's just totally come back together. So it lost the eye wall characteristics. I mean, the eye wall itself was still there. It wasn't a clear eye. I'll put it that way. But, boy, it's a buzzsaw headed towards Guantanamo Bay, Cuba at this hour. But, again, we're not going to know the true extent of the damage, I say, until probably Friday. Even tomorrow, we may not. And if you haven't heard from someone who's down there on the western side of the island, there are survivor stories. There's going to be a lot of those. I've talked to a few people who have relatives down there, and they're like, well, my dad lost his roof. Cousin lost half a roof. So, again, I think the island there, Jamaica, is a little bit better prepared than some of the other islands out there because a lot of their structures, they have, I think we said 800 shelters. So, again, they're prepared for this. The big challenge there is going to be the rebuilding of all of the electrical grid, the roads that get washed out by the mudslides, and giving them what they need as far as water, things like that, just emergency aid. Yeah, it's mean. That's all right. Temps right now tonight, we're in the 50s. We are going to see a low temperature of about 50. Actually, the low temperature is probably going to be closer to 50 or 55. The low tonight and the high is probably the same. I don't see, Mike, I don't see anything long range that poses a severe threat. I do see thunderstorm chances increasing about probably the second week of November. But radar just showed some showers. As we go to 11 o'clock, kind of seeing the same thing. But you'll notice here, this may be the latest guidance coming in. Yeah, it is. So I haven't seen this yet. You're seeing it for the first time with me. But it looks pretty similar to what I saw earlier. About 2 o'clock, the rain really picks up. Heavy rain. No thunderstorms. I don't think we'll see any thunderstorms at all. This is a big wind machine. If we had any instability at all, we'd be dealing with an outbreak of severe weather, but thankfully we're not. Usually you see the setup here, you're thinking severe weather. However, temperatures in the 50s, falling into the 40s, it's not going to happen. Yeah, Margaret, definitely soup fixing weather. So as we go past about 8:45, 9 o'clock tomorrow, we're still going to see a little bit of this rain, the heaviest rain. The rain's not going to let up really any time tomorrow. It's just going, I shouldn't say let up. It will let up the intensity, but it's still going to be raining. Notice this is 2 o'clock tomorrow. Ugh, I don't like this either. So you've got temperatures in the 40s, the mid 40s in some cases, and we've got this cold pool aloft. Again, as I mentioned, in case you missed it earlier, you get to about 3,000 feet in the air and the temperature is below freezing. This creates these instability showers, so we're going to get a very persistent heavy drizzle, light rain, and then in the mountainous areas, there's going to be poor visibility. So that's the other issue here. And there's wind gusts 20, 25 miles an hour. So let's see if it gets any warmer. I don't think it is. In fact, it gets a little cooler. See that cold pool kind of sneaking south of the Tennessee River. This is 6:30 tomorrow evening. 45 in Arab. Again, this is just a good inside day. As we kind of focus back to 11 o'clock tomorrow night, the temperatures are not going to really start dropping until we clear out, and that'll happen Thursday. Thursday will be a windy day too as we slowly clear out. So here's that day planner for tomorrow. We got raindrops everywhere. Notice the temperature's dropping. You don't see the more dramatic drop that I just showed you around 3 o'clock. We're likely to be in the mid-40s. So here's your 3-day forecast. 54 tomorrow, but again, that doesn't really represent. This is like if we were taking a forecasting class and we had a test. The official high is 54. But what everyone's going to remember is temperatures in the 40s with a cold rain in the afternoon. Now we climb out of this Thursday, but man, Friday looks great. 62 for the high. The wind dies down, so it'll be chilly for trick-or-treaters. Temperatures will be in the 40s after sunset. And then a possible light, very light frost. Yes, great chilly weather. Very, very light frost coming our way, potentially, especially in the far northeast counties and southern middle Tennessee as well. So here comes the rain. Heavy rain picking up in Memphis. We're going to talk more about this and your 10-day forecast. We're going to talk about some really nice weather coming next week beyond the weekend. That's all coming up after this commercial break. We'll last 1 minute. I'll see you after the break. All right. May just checked in. She said she's late to the party. I want to talk about Melissa. If I have time, and I'm going to have time, I'm in charge of the time here. After the 10-day forecast, I'll kind of flip back through here and we'll get to Melissa. Melissa is a Category 3 storm. I think the winds are 125 sustained, but it's intensifying. It's expected to go back to Cat 4 before making another landfall in southeast Cuba overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. What we're looking at here is the rain that's coming in. We're going to have widespread rain. The morning commute looks like a mess. And then after that, it's just going to be persistent drizzle, a heavy drizzle tomorrow with temperatures falling into the 40s. Right now, it's really not bad. I think the high temperature for tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, I've repeated it several times, is going to be at midnight, 55, and temperatures will fall by the afternoon tomorrow. So as we kind of take a trip up here northwest into this cooler air mass, you can see it's pretty uniform. It's not an Arctic air mass or anything, but it is quite cold up there in Rapid City. The Rockies, they're in the 20s tonight. But again, that should be expected this time of year. Here's your 10-day forecast. Again, tomorrow's high will be in the morning. The afternoon will be in the 40s with a cold rain. And then it's just going to be one of those miserable drizzle kind of days. Looking forward to the weekend. And boy, yeah, it feels like we've gone straight to winter. It's definitely going to feel that way tomorrow. But we climb out of it. Real nice fall weather Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dry. We changed the clocks, unfortunately. Sunset Sunday is at 4:51. I tell you, that's like the fastest day of the year because you wake up kind of late anyway, you're already behind, and then it's a buzzsaw. But hey, the weather's going to be nice. Enjoy that. And then into next week, it looks pretty good. So again, Halloween looks great. Chilly for trick-or-treaters. Possible frost coming overnight. Again, I say possible because I give it about a 25% chance right now. You're going to have some of those outlying areas that are more likely to see it. Now let's fly back here in my graphics, see if we can get to Melissa real quick. Latest update from the Hurricane Center is going to come out at 10 o'clock, and you can get that on the First Alert Weather app as well. There's the shower activity now. Quite a bit of rain in Lauderdale County, in and around Florence and to the north. There's Melissa. Again, it's Cat 3 now. I just didn't change the banner, but it will be Cat 4 probably by 10 o'clock. Look at that. It has just come right back full circle with a very small centric eye wall. So the winds 125. That was the 7 o'clock advisory. It's changed since then. I'm thinking it's probably back to 140 mile an hour. That would be my guess, just looking at the satellite. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I got to do some radio and get ready for that 10 o'clock news. I'll see you tomorrow night, 9:30. Tomorrow's my Friday.